Today we're going to test out the free Claude 4.5 Opus inside Google's Antigravity IDE completely for free. Let's begin because we are going to create this application you see on screen right now. Essentially, this will be an application where you can chat with religious textbooks like the Bible through a chatbot. And we're going to try and create it today with Claude 4.5 Opus. Before we begin, you need to download Antigravity IDE from Google. You are going to find it on antigravity.google. In terms of pricing, you can use it completely for free and they have a variety of models available in it. Also, you can get a premium plan from Google that gives you even more generous limits, which in my opinion are super amazing. I have never hit a limit inside Antigravity. Specifically today, we're going to restrict ourselves mainly on Claude Opus 4.5, which was released around 1.5 months ago. This is widely recognized as an amazing coding model. People say it's actually the best coding model out there. However, it's very costly, so using it completely for free through the Antigravity IDE is super beneficial to us. So let's test it out. First of all, I'm going to use what is called a Claude skill. This is front-end design skill, which is found inside Anthropic's Claude Code GitHub. I'm copying the raw file and I will leave the link for this down below. This is the first time I'm going to test out this skill mode, and this is my very first big scale test of Claude Opus 4.5. So we create a new file and we're going to name it frontend design skill.md. We're going to paste all of the information here. As we can see, this is not super big in terms of a file. It's just a simple system prompt that will make us make the best use out of Claude. When you open Antigravity, you want to select agent here and select Claude Opus 4.5 with thinking. Always use the planning mode, which is going to allow you to get the performance to the maximum possible budget, because when you use fast, it's just going to fill it up as soon as possible. So for hard tasks, always go with planning, and your initial conversation inside Antigravity IDE should be in planning mode. So we have already set up this skill. I've also went ahead on dribble.com to find the UI that looks kind of good to me, a nice UI that I would like to use for my application. So we have essentially the chat results on one side and the chat on the main page over here. So I'm going to take a screenshot of it just to focus the information exactly where I want them. And I'm going to begin by giving it the image. I am interested in creating an application that users can use to read religious texts through a chatbot. I'm going to write the whole prompt with exactly what I want to do, and I will give you an overview in just a little bit. So I've created the specification. So the idea is that we select a book, we chat with it through various questions. The application should fetch the correct information from the checkbook we're interested in. Then what we want to do is we want to use the image for the design, but we want to flip the chat along with the dashboard. So the chat will be on the left and the results are going to be on the right hand side. And we want to use the frontend.md file, which I'm also going to attach over here. So I'm just giving it the exact MD file to be used. So I just drag it over into this window. Also, we say that this application will be a website. We don't need any account. I don't want to test out its backend capabilities. I know they're good. I have tried it out in the past, and we're working on an MVP. So it understands that it doesn't need to do everything. It's just going to create a localhost website. I also give it my specific tech stack options, just some implementation details that I want it to follow. So we give the prompt to Claude 4.5 Opus and it begins to work. I'm super excited to see what result it's going to bring to us. But of course, this is just a simple demo, a simple example. You should absolutely go ahead and test it out on your own because this is literally free. Vibe coding is really next level right now. It's only going to get better from here on out. We can see it begins by reading the .md file to get context. It sees the image and it analyzes our directory. So it has a good understanding of our code base, the requirements and the context, and then it begins to work. I didn't think for quite a lot. If you really want to trigger this model to think a lot, you need to say to it, think hard or something like that. So make sure to note it down. But essentially, we've given it all the information it needs to progress with this task. So Antigravity does two very specific steps at first that I really love. I think they're top notch. First, it creates this task.md file that shows exactly the tasks it needs to do. This is essentially a to-do list, and this allows also the model to keep a little bit of the state, know where it is, how it goes. So here are all of the steps it's going to do to implement implement our application. Literally all of these seem very solid. Has done very good selections. From the software engineering perspective, it seems correct. It also begins with the backend, which I think is important. And also it creates an implementation plan. So essentially, it's going to ask us the implementation plan. It gives us an overview of all of the things it's going to create, both in the front end, both in the back end, the API route on the back end, and what models it's going to use and text embeddings. So this looks super good. I really like it. It also creates the environment files, shows us the specifications. Looks good. I'm not going to go into detail. Usually what you want to do in these cases is to make sure that the plan is correct and the task list is correct, so the agent can just go ahead and implement each stuff on its own correctly. So here there is an example that I don't like. I want to tell it use ChromaDB instantly. Okay, so we're gonna write it. I have access. I will paste it to the .env on my own. This is something that I really like. You can comment on top of the implementation plan, the task plan very easily. So that's very good. And what I wanted to do also is to tell it a little bit about what kind of embeddings I want to use. So I'm telling it, I don't want you to use the Google text embeddings. I want you to use Qwen 3 because it's actually free. That are just technical specifications that you probably don't know. These are for people that know AI and embeddings and all of that stuff. So it has some questions. I updated the implementation with comments, changed the plan according to these. For 1, answered in comments. 2, I like your options. 3, first, let's do the changes. So essentially what I tell it is take note of the changes, update your task list, update your plan, and now we're ready to begin writing the code. So I think that's very important. So here on the review, you need to click submit to see the changes. That's a mistake of mine. So I submit the changes, and of course the IDE understands that I haven't done the update. So it says either paste them on the chat or just update the file, which is great. This IDE has improved massively over the past few days, past few months. I've used it so many times in the past, but right now, every single day I use it, it seems better and better. And again, we're using a model that is costing $22 per million token output completely for free. Actually, $25 per million token output completely for free right now to create our little nice looking MVP to validate our, implementation. So implementation plan, I'm just gonna say that I review it and it's okay. So yes, let's proceed. One thing that I like is that both the task list and the implementation plan are live, so you can always review them, so you can see exactly what parts have been done, at which process you are right now, which I think is super important. And yeah, this looks pretty amazing. So at every single step, it's going to ask me to accept a step, to accept an action. This is how I prefer to use AI. I want a really hands-on experience. I really don't want AI to do its things on its own. I'm really, an old type of programmer where I want to have complete control over AI. So I'm going to accept everything here and go ahead and show you the result because I don't want to waste your time, guys. So as the agent work, I want to give you a little bit of a tip that is super important because these models are super new and the IDEs not always integrate them correctly. You want to take it slowly. You want to make sure that when something is written on the command line or before you allow AI to do any kind of strange move, you always give it a little bit of a review. Just make sure it doesn't delete something sensitive, doesn't clear up your database or something like that, or doesn't delete your hard drive. So just make sure to always check before running a command, especially on the command line. Just a small tip from me to avoid the worst. And always try to do version control through GitHub, but also keeping up backups of your sensitive data. One of the most interesting things about Antigravity is that it can also test the UI in the browser. So for Antigravity to use your browser and do the test of the UI and check the functionality, you will actually need to set up a plugin. So it will need to launch a browser where you will install the Antigravity extension. So this will be only for Google Chrome. So install extension, click this button, add to Chrome, add extension. So now Antigravity is going to be able to use your browser. Simple as that. Not super complicated, actually super simple. And this is like the sacred chat. And here Antigravity is gonna do whatever it needs. It's taking a screenshot of the current state, as we can see obviously here. And it's reasoning essentially on top of the browser. And you can see everything that Antigravity is doing on the browser. I think this is super powerful. Of course, it's probably eating up a lot of tokens. You can also check the overview of what it looks like by looking at the screenshots. Of course, the UI is not super amazing right now, gotta say. I really like the palette, it's really religious, and it already has set up a lot of things. So it's going to go ahead and test the implementation by using the browser. This is pretty amazing in all honesty. Okay, so here it gives us the MVP walkthrough. It says it successfully built everything with a RAG, etc, etc. Of course, the RAG is not yet fully implemented with an actual textbook. It shows us all of the components it has created in the app, in the API, in the chat interface. The components that it created looks really good. And let me check also the code. Code looks also super clean. So it gives us a walkthrough of what it created. It shows us the initial state of the UI. It's not really centered, to be honest with you. So how to test it? We need to put our API key in the environment template, and we need to start the development server to test it out. So we need to run these commands. Then open up the web browser and start messaging stuff. So, let me put my API key and let's get back in here to actually test out what it's done. So first of all, I'm going to accept all of the changes and let's see. Okay, so we're here. I'm feeling anxious. Let's test it out. Let me also show you the text over here like this. I'm feeling anxious. Module cannot resolve LangChain core documents. So we have this issue. I'm gonna, give it all of these. Just copy. I'm gonna paste here the issue to Antigravity, and hopefully we're going to work through these first initial mistakes to fix the issues. So there's something missing. It's gonna go ahead and asks us, to install a dependency. Just going to do the necessary steps, and we're going to continue on with testing the application. So right now what it does, it's actually checking the functionality, which looks pretty amazing. We can also see it actively using the application through this interactive window. So I'm really interested to see if it's actually going to type the I'm anxious or whatever, or click the send button. That would be very interesting to see. It actually writes it, clicks the send button. This is pretty amazing. It also helped me set up like the whole thing about, the API key. I did some fixes with the dependencies. And again, you gotta think that we're coding like now with about 10-20 prompts and it still works, which is kind of insane for, a free subscription with such a costly model. It looks pretty amazing. So it seems that for some reason it's actually waiting to respond, still doesn't respond, which is interesting. Let's see if it's actually able to, make it happen, make it work. Also, of course, I would love to do a lot of changes to this application, but already the video is kind of long. So yeah, I'm quite sure that it has been stuck with an issue that it shouldn't be resolving. So probably it hasn't initialized the database for this RAG system, which is a prerequisite, but I don't want to prompt it to tell it what to do to, fix the error. I really want to see if it's going to be able to do it on its own. But it's really amazing how it's able to test the application on its own and do all of these requests. This is something precedented that is still very, new. It's not overly used right now, and it's going to improve in the future, but I can already see that it's really progressing. Like, this thing was not possible 2 months ago, 3 months ago. This is pretty incredible, even though it's failing right now. So Antigravity is still investigating what is going wrong, like talking with the chat. It's really interesting. I also added it, after a little bit, I tell it, okay, make sure that everything is instantiated correctly, everything is working correctly, just to make sure that everything is correct. So as we can see, it already identified that it made a mistake. It's going to switch over to in-memory, whatever. That's a little disappointing, but I can understand that maybe I should give it more information because there are not a lot of documents and resources about this kind of, implementations, RAG and all of these things. They're kind of hard for models to do. So yeah, I'm just going to come back and give you a review of what happened, but I just want to show you the flow of how you can work with these models to create things that would in other cases, it would take you like a week to spin this all up with your own knowledge and reading the documentation and writing the code. So already this is pretty amazing. So after a little bit of back and forth with the model, guiding it to what potentially could be wrong, because it's also issues that I had in the past while I was coding these things, and it's not easy for models. We have this beautiful result. I scraped completely the dashboard. Here we can select like the RAG database. We have a local model. We have like a test sample, and we click I'm feeling anxious about the future, and boom, it goes ahead and shows us the result. So my dear friend, blah 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 blah. It gives us the related scripture with a passage as well, and it shows us from the Bible things that are important through the passages, which I really like this connection because it grounds it to, let's say, the Holy Book. How should I live my daily life? Let's ask it that. So the chat mode also here is working. So it's finding wisdom and it gives us a reference for our daily life. I think this is pretty amazing, especially if you think that this, was done completely for free in just an hour. It could have been done in 20 minutes if I stopped the model from, failing on its own. But at the end of the day, I was like cooking. So I'm like, okay, let it do its thing. Let's see if it can fix the issues. It was not able to. So we're not yet at the stage where everything will run completely autonomously without guidance. However, I didn't have to write a single line of code. I just needed to guide the model like you could guide a junior developer to find the resource correctly. And I really love the result. I really like it. Let me know what you think about it down below in the comments. I really love the design also. This is very, let's say, very royal, very, very formal. I really like it. So thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next video.